is Devin, and welcome to my Family Secrets. Here's a little bit of information to go along with today's video. There is so much more to adoption than most of us know, and that's by design. But more about that later. So anyway, in 1984, when I was 34 years old, I learned that the birth certificate that my mother and father had given me, the one that I had lived with my entire life, was really an amended, or I call it a fake, birth certificate. When I requested a copy of the original birth certificate, I was shocked by what I discovered. So it was all a lie, and that was the beginning of the confirmation, my confirmation, that I had been right all the time, and that I wasn't crazy. But little did I know it would take another 40 years before the rest of the truth finally came out. And from what I can find out, or what I know now, is she got pregnant with me, and then she was from South Carolina, and Fisk, of course, is in Nashville. But I was born in Topeka, Kansas. And so it appears that she went to a home for unwed mothers, the Florence and Crittenton Home for Unwed Mothers, which was segregated in those days. And she had me. And then she went to Detroit, where her sisters and her brothers were living at the time, and dropped me off with her sister. And then she went back to college. The birth certificate that I received from the state of Kansas was stamped on the back, "Adoption occurred subsequent to birth." And on that copy of the birth certificate, it lists only my name, only my first name, no middle name and no last name, and it lists my mother and my mother's age. It also lists that it's signed by a doctor. And basically that's all that's there. There is no mention of a father's name. There is no information regarding the time of birth, how much I weighed, was I born in a hospital, and also it listed at the very top of the birth certificate that it was that I was born at the Florence Crittenton Home in Topeka, Kansas. Up until then, I had no idea, and I assumed that I had been born in a hospital, like regular people. When I found out that I was born in a home for unwed mothers, I was extremely shocked, and I had never heard of such a thing happening to anyone else that I knew. I had heard about, when I was in high school, about girls that went away when they got pregnant, but I never thought my mother would be one of those girls. So I began to study and research. This is just recently. I began to study and research what life was like in the 50s for mothers, black girls who became pregnant and were sent away. Where did they go? How did my mother find this home? How were they treated? How many black adoptions were there in the 50s? Just all of these things ran through my head. So if you'll stay tuned, I'm going to update you on some information that I found through working with the Florence Crittenton Home, and also some research that I did on my own.